Hey there, welcome back to Mr. Smith Garage. Here in the garage with Jack, the 81 Westfalia Vanagon air-cooled engine. It's been a week. If you have been suffering sickness like this week in our house, I feel for you. That's been a tough cold or flu, whatever it was. Didn't do much this week. Especially didn't film anything, so I'd been coughing quite a bit, so now I'm just drinking some tea with my fancy new mug. And I'm a coffee drinker, but tea does feel good when we're sick. I will show you what I do have prepared. So there's my front end pieces re-cleaned up. There's my sway bar. There's my shift linkage. Figure we paint it red, make this thing a little faster, right? And then I also have gotten in the mail several things. So I got, let's see, where's my mail stuff? Right there. Got some wire harness. So what that's going to help me do today that I'm going to work on, just because I want to sit down, is we're going to work on this air-cooled engine. These are parts for the shift linkage. So I'm just going to move that over here with our other parts. This is what we're going to work on today. A little bit of engine work. I can kind of sit on my stool, roll around. Lots of pain, this sickness from coughing. My chest and abdomen just are killing me. But I'm surviving and I'm alive. And so that's the best that we can hope for right now, right? I do need to do some cleaning under the undercarriage for Jack to get those the front end parts all put back in. But I just can't bring myself to lying down under the dirt and getting, I don't know, I'm probably going to have to do that this week just so we can start getting that front end put on. I want this thing to be able to roll. I did get Ferdinand the Porsche back. Top looks beautiful. I'll show that to you at a later time. But let's start working on the engine here. Got the engine out here. Took all the accessories off the top. This is my throttle body gasket. I ordered a new one. There it is. And I just want to show you the difference between the new one and a crusty one. So you can see the crusty one is stiff, right? Hard. This is a little more supple, soft. It's not quite as stretched, which this is stretched, so that could lead to vacuum leaks. So that's what we're going to put on there is the new one. I don't know if I really showed you, but we really went to town to clean up this throttle body. And then I do have the little piece in there for to accept the throttle cable. Got the spring. One thing I'm doing too is just kind of going through here and cleaning this. Again, I rebuilt this motor. It's been about 2 years. Get one of these guys started. Yep, just get started. On this side. See. Okay, so now that is sealed on there. Perfect. What you might be seeing here is a few things that you might not have ever seen before. So in case you're not familiar with the California emissions air-cooled, I'm going to save this just as a spare. One of the things I've been working on cleaning out was this. This is the EGR valve, and it's working great now. It had a plug in there, so the previous owner had plugged it with some silicone. Luckily it was just a dauble of it, and then they covered it up with this Oh, a piece of leather or something. So what we're gonna have to do is create a gasket, because I don't think that's a gasket. Let me see. Yeah, I don't think that could be a gasket, but if it is, it's really old. So we'll create a gasket for this side where it connects to the plenum. Create a gasket for this side where it connects to my down tube. So that's something that we're going to have to create some gasket for. But I did do some cleaning of the hardware, chased the threads that are in here because they were painted. Just want to make sure that they go in there really well. Okay, so here's where we can really come down to it. We are installing the harness for the engine. And so this harness is gladly provided by, although what some may consider to be expensive, it's a willing cost when you're talking about a 43-year-old, 44-year-old vehicle. So this is who does these wiring harnesses for Vanagon engines. If you're, I think he even does some for Subarus, who knows. Anyway, Kyle Automotive Specialties. His name's Kyle Lacey. You could look him up on the line. I had him do a engine wiring harness for me. I want to see how it looks. I've worked on a few of these, so I haven't made my own, and I wasn't really looking forward to it. And so that's kind of why I had him go through that process for me, since that's what his specialty is. If I am right, the way this should go in is something like this. Should just lay right across there. This is going to come up to the air AFM. So it'll be right where the AFM is. Here's my two plugs that are going to go here. Here's my two fuel injector plugs. That should go on my new fuel injectors that I got from Vanagon. This, I'm not sure where this one goes, but it does go all the way across like that. Kind of interesting though. Okay. We shall see. I think we want to keep it right where it's at, then go over. These guys are going to go down underneath here. I'm going to pull that off. I've got fuel injectors, I'm assuming, are black. There's a heat thing down here, a heat sensor. There is this heat air valve thing here, and then there's my fuel injector there. If I were to go with what I assume, based on black being the fuel injectors, then I would make that one the cold start fuel injector. The longer one I would put to that tube because it's further away, and then the shorter one would go down to the brown one, which is closer. Well, that one clicked in just fine. Longer one to here. Clicked in just fine, good. And then green one. To there. If for some reason I had to adjust my timing, I don't think I could adjust it towards the cold start any closer. But we're going to go with that. There is a block right down here that's a ground block, and so we're going to plug a couple of ground wires in down here. One of those is probably going to be for the oxygen sensor. One is for maybe the thermostat. Wish I had Jill here in the garage. I could kind of just look at Jill's wiring. That would be helpful. I know these are going to go up to the double relay. That's just right back here. That's the only thing I'm kind of concerned about. And then this piece of packet of wiring here is for the Hall. Excuse me. For the Hall sensor up to a couple of items that are over here on the firewall. So there we go. Now I can start putting the engine together. I was kind of waiting for that because I wasn't sure how easy it would be to maneuver it underneath all this other stuff, but pretty easy. So I think I can get the intake manifold on. I'm sorry I'm a little out of it. Like I said, I've been sick for a week. Well, hey folks, doesn't seem like we've been getting anywhere very fast. Had to go down to Ace Hardware and pick up some nuts because apparently I didn't have any that were going to fit on here. To get these guys on, basically I've cleaned them, and then these are new. They're like a gasket spacer, and so they are new. We have to put the intake vacuum hoses on there before we tighten it on. Luckily I have my handy dandy intake manifold hoses. They will create their own suction, and when this is all hooked up, there's only going to be a little bit of space between them. Is that it? We just had to find the right mesh point. That is not right. That is not right. Okay, we're gonna turn this off because I'm not getting anywhere, man. It just looks off. I don't like the way that looks. I think these are interchangeable, but maybe they're not. Maybe I've got the wrong one on the wrong sides. Maybe they're completely different. They look pretty close, but I'm telling you, that one looks bent. Okay, let's try and see if we can get this one on this side. See, look how much cleaner those look. So maybe I struggled this whole time putting the wrong ones on the wrong sides. Because look how easy that went on. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe this one. A little easier on this side. Oh, yeah, look at that. They're not interchangeable. You got to make sure you put the right one on the right side. And there you have it. Okay. Whew, after all that, huh? Hey, that's okay. We learned. So now we're doing this one straight on. Maybe. There we go. And I'm just trying to get these over the studs down here. There it is. Whew. Boy, that took a lot longer than I thought it would. Primarily because we had the wrong one on the wrong side. Now, those are both well secured in there. And now we just need to tighten them down. So I'm going to get the Bentley and see if there's a torque spec. Okay, torque spec on these is 11 foot-pounds, not very much. So I got my small ratchet. We'll get these on and do 11 foot-pounds. Wow, that's it, huh? 11 foot-pounds? That does not feel like much. I guess that's why we need a fresher gasket on there, huh? So, okay. Those are all on. Ready for fuel injection rail there on that side. We'll go do the other side now. Well, I didn't get very far today, so I'm going to show you where we're at. Got the wiring harness in, and so it basically just wraps around the vehicle, or I mean the engine. It wraps around the engine, comes along to the other side. Still not sure about this piece, but I know obviously it comes across somehow. Thinking this goes to the coil. If that's the case, I don't know if it'll wrap all the way around there to the coil. I might have to bring it across the middle somewhere. You see something sticking out of the middle here. Oh, we did get the intake manifolds on. So trick to that is making sure that you know that they're different. At least in my case they are. This one definitely fit straight into these ones, and this one fit straight into these ones. And so they're on there. That's good. And then I started putting on the dipstick, and let's just say the dipstick that I had broke into pieces. Here's the little piece that goes down in, broke into pieces. So we're gonna have to get a new dipstick tube. The other dipstick tube I have was really bent up and not the right shape, because it basically comes straight up through here, so you can check it through the license plate. Where we're at with that, I think I need to take a breather, so I'm just going to make this a pretty short video. Intake manifolds installed, wire loom appropriated, and that's probably about it. So thanks for watching Mr. Smith Garage. We appreciate our followers, our subscribers. We are going to get through this. This has been a rough week being sick, so we'll work on this a little bit more probably tomorrow and something. This is the weekend. Got a little bit more time to just tool around out here and but I still don't feel like getting under there and doing the front suspension. So even though I've got all the parts cleaned up, ready to go. So we'll be back with another video